Picture this. You're at the test center, staring blankly at the monitor, and you can literally hear that ticking clock counting down the seconds. The anxiety is totally real, right? Time is absolutely your biggest enemy on test day. But what if I told you there's a way to shift your brain out of that slow, brute force calculation mode and into rapid-fire intuition? Well, welcome to today's explainer. Think of this as a masterclass, pulled straight from expert strategies, designed to completely rewire how you tackle the GRE and GMAT.
Okay, let's dive right in. Here's our agenda for today. We're covering beating the clock, percent multiplier magic, intuitive coordinate geometry, probability and proportions, and finally, winning verbal strategies.
Section 1. Beating the clock.
So let's just confront the core problem head-on. If you're relying on rote memorization and writing out these long, multi-step formulas for every single question, you're just bleeding time. And honestly, on these exams, wasting time is exactly what the test makers want you to do. So ask yourself, are you calculating or are you intuiting? A top scorer doesn't just memorize a formula, they understand the math so well they bypass the clunky calculations entirely. Today, we're graduating from just reasoning to pure intuition.
Section 2. Percent multiplier magic.
Let's completely change how you handle percentages, starting with a classic scenario you see all the time, a computer store sale. The old way? Writing out the original amount, finding the percentage, subtracting it, it's just clunky. Say a computer retails for $1,500 and it's on sale for 12% off. Do not find 12% and subtract it. Intuition tells us, hey, if 12% is gone, exactly 88% is left. So you just multiply the $1,500 by your multiplier, 0.88, to instantly get 1,320. Boom, no extra steps.
Let's push this a bit further. What if you need to increase a number by 500%? Most test takers just freeze here, or they write out some crazy fraction. But if a 20% increase gives you a multiplier of 1.2, a 500% increase means you just add 5 to your base of 1. So your multiplier is simply 6. You just multiply the original number by 6. It really is that fast when you trust the math.
Now, what's really interesting is how we can compound these multipliers to solve scary-looking algebra without touching a calculator. Imagine a positive number s is decreased by 60%, so our multiplier is 0.4. Then it's increased by 80%, so our next multiplier is 1.8. And all of this equals y. So our setup is s times 0.4 times 1.8 equals y. To do this in your head, just think of it as 4 over 10 times 18 over 10, which is 72 over 100. So 72s over 100 equals y. Cross-multiply, divide by 4, and actually it simplifies beautifully to s equals 25y over 18. Bam! Solved entirely through intuitive multipliers.
Section 3. Intuitive coordinate geometry. All right, let's step away from algebra for a second and learn to spot slopes instantly, without getting bogged down by that dreaded y2 minus y1 formula. The source material uses this absolutely brilliant metaphor to explain slopes intuitively: the weather. Think about it. If it rains for days and it's freezing cold, well, that feels normal. The variables are moving in the same expected direction. But if it rains for days and suddenly it's blistering hot, that is not normal. The variables are moving in opposite directions. In geometry, normal means a positive slope. Both variables increase or decrease together. Not normal means a negative slope. The variables go in opposite directions.
Let's prove this metaphor. Take a look at points P and Q. From P, where x is 2, to Q, where x is 8, the x value goes up. From a y of 3 to a y of 5, the y value also goes up. They both increase. It's normal weather. So, without calculating a single thing, we know this is a positive slope. Now look at moving from P to M. X goes down from 2 to 0, but y goes up from 3 to 5. They're moving in opposite directions. It's unusual weather, right? So that's a guaranteed negative slope. You can literally rule out trap answers in seconds just by looking at it.
Section 4. Probability and proportions.
Okay, we're shifting gears into topics that tend to trigger massive panic on test day, even for the most prepared folks. Before you let word problems intimidate you, I want you to anchor yourself to this universal definition. Basic probability is simply your desired outcomes over your total possible outcomes. Sometimes people call it favorable over possible. That is the whole shebang. Keep that front and center in your mind.
Let's apply that instantly to a classic blocks problem. Say you have 10 blue, 9 red, and 6 yellow identical blocks in a box. What's the probability that a randomly selected block is not blue? Well, if we don't want blue, our desired or favorable outcomes are the red ones and the yellow ones. 9 plus 6 is 15. The total number of blocks is 25. So desired over total gives us exactly 15 over 25. Simple, direct, and fast.
But what happens when the test throws a massive wall of text at you? How do you handle complex budget pacing or wheel revolution questions without getting totally lost in the weeds? The secret is setting up powerful equivalent proportion setups.
Let's walk through a fiscal budget problem dynamically. Say a project has a $12,600 budget for a 12-month year. At the end of the 4th month, they spent $4,580. How much are they over budget? Step 1, set up the proportion. 12,600 over 12 months equals our target, x, over 4 months. Step 2, solve for x. 12,600 divided by 12 is 1,050. Multiply that by 4, and x is $4,200. That's what they should have spent. Step 3, compare. They actually spent $4,580. Subtract our proportion answer of $4,200, and we instantly see an overage of $380. Equivalent fractions make messy, real-world problems completely predictable.
Section 5. Winning Verbal Strategies.
Let's move on and see how this builds, because this intuitive approach isn't just for math, it's absolutely your secret weapon for dominating the verbal section too. The GRE and GMAT are notorious for incredibly tricky vocabulary and clever little traps, especially in the sentence equivalence questions, where you pick 2 words that give the sentence the same meaning. So, how do you avoid falling for answers that look perfectly right but are basically designed to distract you? Well, you have to completely rethink how you approach the answer choices.
Here's a fantastic 3-step intuition method for verbal. Step 1. Physically cover the answer options. Seriously, don't even look at them yet. Step 2. Read the sentence, predict the meaning, and fill in the blank with your own word. For example, the source discusses a sentence about social and political movements that, quote, helped women participation. If you read that, your brain intuitively predicts a word like encourage. Step 3. Uncover the options and find the pairs that match your predicted word. If you predicted encourage, you're going to immediately spot foster as the correct match, bypassing those trap words entirely.
The source material really hits the nail on the head with this quote. Filling in your own words shows that you have a good understanding of the question. And why does this strategy work so well? Because relying on your own reading comprehension and intuition protects you. You aren't being subtly persuaded by cleverly disguised incorrect options. You already know what the sentence is supposed to say before the test even tries to trick you.
As we wrap up this explainer today, I want you to remember this core philosophy. Graduate from reasoning to intuition. Reasoning means you've memorized all the formulas and you're slowly working step by step. It's super mechanical. But intuition means you understand the connections so deeply, like using the weather metaphor for slopes or covering the verbal answers so you trust your own brain, that you bypass the mechanics entirely.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Look at your own study habits right now. Are you stuck relying on slow calculation, or are you ready to start intuiting your way to a top score? The clock is always ticking, but with these mental models, you're the one controlling the time now. Take these multiplier tricks, the geometry visuals, and the verbal predictions into your next practice test, and just watch your speed and your score absolutely soar.